Hi, I'm Tim Gorman. I'm the former keyboard player for the Rolling Stones, The Who, the Jefferson Airplane, and the Jefferson Starship, and many other bands. My background is as a studio musician and also as a composer and producer, songwriter. I was classically trained, and so one of the things that made the biggest impression on me coming up as a young musician was how musical form, or how we organize music, is formed. And for me, form really comes from an old classical thing called sonata allegro, which is the way Haydn and Beethoven organized their symphonies. You have an A section and a B section and then a C section. The A section would be your main idea. The B section would be the development part. It's where you might have a solo or, sing something a little different. And C would be when you get to the chorus, or you bring all those ideas together from A and B and put that into the C section. So anyway, that's how I've been organizing music for a long time. Okay, why do we want to organize music? Well, it sounds better. It just sounds better. Certainly you can have free sections like in jazz, everybody just spiraling off into space. But proper songwriting form, it usually seems to go in divisions of 8, sometimes 12, sometimes 16. It can even go as long as 32. It doesn't have to be that. Certainly there are a lot of great songs out there that are have a 9-bar phrase or an 11-bar phrase. And that might actually sound better to you. But when you start playing around with the bar lengths and time signatures, things start to get a bit more interesting. So I try to organize music in that way, and it's worked out well for me, and it's easy for people to remember. So we tend to want things to be somewhat cyclical and repetitive. Repetition is part of songwriting. The more you hear it, the more people get it. So I always find that a good way to organize things about songwriting, and it works. It can work for any kind of music you want. Inspiration is also another area that's kind of interesting, because it's where do we get it from, and everybody seems to get it from somewhere. There's the old saying that every time you think you're blazing a trail, look down at your feet and you'll find that the path is well worn. Somebody's been there before you. So I try to remind myself of that, even though I'm trying to always be in the creative and always constantly entertaining new melodies, new chord changes, a new lyric, and again, letting that affect the form, the overall length and sections of the piece of music I'm working on. I do a lot of stuff for multimedia, video games and films and cartoons, things like that. And so it depends on the project and depends on the genre of music that you're creating. Certainly a cartoon is going to have a lot more animation to it, even in the music, because the changes visually are happening very, very quickly. So the music's going to change very, very quickly. But all of these ideas really are about the project that you're working on at that time, and seeing about, letting that kind of govern things. Certainly a romantic film score is going to sound a lot different than a cartoon, and a video game score is going to sound different than a romantic movie. And so you always have to keep aware of the genre you're working in, and are you being true to that, and are you actually saying something? So if everybody gets it from somewhere, it's like, it's okay to steal from yourself, just don't steal from anybody else. So that's what I try to kind of go with. Thanks for listening.